冬のラヒ I will play ラヒミュージックスタート。
Hey. All right. So I wasn't actually sure what to do today because there's no like smaller issues that I know of for me to look at. Right now, there's a couple of things I could do, but don't really feel like doing. Yeah. Like custom calling and crap like that. I don't want to do that. So instead I'm gonna revive something older and try and get that going, which is an animation system for Alloy, the UI toolkit. So this has been dormant for quite a while, and it was never finished because my first approach had a bunch of problems that I didn't know how to solve. Some weeks back, I don't remember when, but at some point I decided to look at things again, and I made some notes, so I'm gonna have to look at these notes real quick. Maybe I can get the notes. Hold on, I don't actually know. I don't know if I can, like, open the notes here. Where's my fucking... Can I not, like, see my files? Huh. Why does... That's weird. How do I... Okay, maybe I can I've never done this before, so live view. How does this work? Live view on. That's not it. Is it like a desktop app? I guess no. What is that? I don't... Okay, never mind. I don't know what that live view stuff is. Oh, not import. How do I make this fucking sync? Oh my god. I've never done this before, so I have no idea what's happening. I think this is like an offline thing. Yeah, never mind this. Okay, I can't show my notes, which sucks. Let me just see if I can read through them real quick. So, let me see what I even have here. Alright, these are easing functions. Right. That's easy enough. And this is a lerp. Okay. Right. Okay, so these are pretty much utilities. Lean into them. Better. Why is this like, can we use this anywhere? Well, I think this was like, I'm not sure. Okay, so Queen has a setter function, a number of stops, number of values along the stops, easings for each stop, I presume. Now, what is values? IDX to current, pointer, and the clock. Right, okay. Then something that is animated has a number of tweens. Okay, this just updates them. Let's adjust that. Okay. Alright. Here's the actual logic. So we go over to tweens. We get all the values out. Right. So we haven't reached the end yet, then we increase the clock. We update it in there. The clock of the next stop is below our current clock, then we advance the index and update that. The index is still smaller than the max, then we perform a tween or a lerp. Otherwise, we simply set the end state. Okay. AI, AB, subtract that. Get the ease function out. Compute the current index or like fractional component of the lerp, and then perform the lerp and update the value. For that, we simply call the setter with the value and the animated. Okay. Trim expired tweens. Okay, so we remove tweens if they aren't. Okay. One thing I'm noticing is that there's no real way for a tween to loop. If we want to have looping animations. I wonder. Okay. Okay, now we introduce an update method for everything else. It just traverses the layout tree. Okay, apply animation. Okay. Probably be vector instead of array. What does expand array do? It constructs an array and then sets the value based on compile time list. Okay. Simple enough. Right. Okay, compile tweens. Creates a table. Progression. Replace tween info. Okay, so this is for this. This is just syntax stuff. Alright. Don't really need to worry about that right now, I don't think. What I'm interested in right now, mostly, is automated animation so that you can this stuff. So you can say something like when the button is, or when the switch is in the off position, it should have these properties. So for instance, like the like circular thingy that represents the switch should be in the left position. If the switch is on, it should be in the right position, and then it should automatically like make the tween from left to right if it notices the change associated with that. So this is this stuff. Do I have any, like, do selections? What is this? Okay, so this was like when I was working on that. So what all did that change? So I have to change the presentations protocol. Now have state properties from old value to new value. Okay. Change observables to 84. Okay. And a bunch of stuff here. Mostly now that we have, when we computer change, we can get the old value in as well. Okay. Yeah, I think I know what I was trying to do here. Don't know if I like this very much. No, we do need that for sure. Yeah. Okay. I think there's was some kind of example here. Right. This would look like this, maybe. I don't think I ever finished this, so yep. Here it is. It's really awkward. You have to specify things like this as a transition between two states. It would be much easier if it could figure it out on its own. Hold on. What does map parts do? See. Okay. My current thoughts are a bit different. Or actually, yeah, I'm getting lost in mind mazes. Ideally, what I would like is the following. I can say I have... Yeah, for instance, what we have here, essentially. So, when the focus of this button is weak, then we have a green background, and when the focus is nil, then we have a red background. And then the system automatically computes the transition between the two when a transition happens.
You streaming? Why is it unavailable on YouTube?
Is it? I don't know. How do I do this fucking crap on YouTube? Is Restream like not working for some reason? Oh yeah. What the fuck? Annoying.
Literally struggling to try and watch you do stuff I barely understand.
I don't want to restart the fucking broadcast. Sucks. Why is it? It's saying it's sending data, but it's not doing it. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's up with YouTube. Yeah, no idea. All right, back to this. Okay. The problem, I guess, is the following. Or one of the issues is that doing this, just having states associated with like what we want to have, we have no way of specifying what should happen when a transition actually occurs. So for instance, we say, okay, we go from this nil state into the weak state. there's no way for us to say how long this change should happen, go for, or like how it should be tweened. I'm not sure I like this too much. I'm wondering if we should separate it more into something abstract, something like, so like, this is just, and then something like this, and then we do animate button, changes its focus from nil to weak. Associate nil with the weak focus, or no, this is not. Oh, what a non. And then we can say stuff like duration 2 seconds. And then already easing and stuff. Yeah, maybe. It's kind of verbose though, I don't know. I don't... Why is it not streaming to YouTube though? What the fuck? That means my recording won't be there, which sucks a lot of dick. It was working earlier on today, I don't know. I'm also noticing this doesn't really... This doesn't really help for... Or isn't really usable at all for things that are parametric. Like, like for instance, if we have some kind of slider kind of thingy, because there's no, or not parametric, but continuous, because there's no like on or off state particularly, and yet if we like switch the slider from one value to another, we still want it to animate smoothly. So, maybe there needs to be a completely different approach to this after all. I don't know what that is. This is a pain. What also bothers me is that right now we already encode most of the information that we do need for the animation stuff, just in a different way. What I mean by that is, if we go into this here, for instance. So let's look at the button. So we have this update method, which is called whenever an observable state changes, typically the value or the focus or whatever. And so here we already encode what we want the end states to be like. Yeah, for instance, for the background, we want the focus to switch between these three different, or if the focus switches, we want the background color to switch to these three. So essentially, we're already encoding these end states, and ideally, it would just animate between them. But I suppose the problem here is intercepting these changes and tweening them instead of just applying them directly. I wonder how we can do that. Maybe we can do something like... so that we declare that it should watch the background shape on the animated button and then tween its pattern in 1 second interval. I guess the question for this would be, how can we even hook into this? And I guess I'm more... And we also have the other old problem again of not knowing what to tween from. Essentially, the issue in the old system, like the first prototype I made was, imagine this. So we have this button, right? And the background is red when the button isn't focused at all. And then once once there is focus, when focus, background should be green. Green in 1 second, right? And it would try to know what to tween from and to. So for instance, when changing to green, in order to know what the start position would be, it would just take the current background color and then tween to green in 1 second. But this is not what we want typically, because imagine if you quickly focus the button and then unfocus it and then the button is still in the first transition to green, so it's halfway to green, and then you transition back to the red, but now instead of taking half of a second to go back to red from basically middle of green to red, it takes again 1 second to do the transition, which is not a big deal, but it's still noticeably awkward. Still, I'm not sure how else to do this. Does the define update even transform into? It just transforms into reinitialize instance directly. Okay. Yeah, in order to inject animations in here, we would have to hijack this and change how this works. Because right now there is no way for us to know when this kind of declared state occurs. Because the shape is detached. It would have to have a another indirection level. Either that, or on update shape, we capture the previous value and the new value and then check whether it applies to any of the changes. So it would have something like round and shape. Yes. What was it? And then we construct the tween. Okay. This... This might work. I'm trying to think one of the issues here is the comparison from the old state to the new state, because often we use objects that are not EQL comparable. I think they should all be equal comparable. No, they have to be equal. Okay, that's not great. Might need an extra generic function again for that. The other issue is compiling down this into something efficient. Probably need to have, so we need to have a need to have an extraction function, and we need to have and then needs the okay. Not a function. So essentially we probably do that on a loss basis. No, we can't do a meta class. Ah, God, that sucks. Yeah, I can't use a meta class. That would have been useful in this case, because then we could have, whenever you use a define animated statement, we could have compiled down all of this into a singular function that is actually, you know, compiled, and then just call that function from the associated class of the animatable. But because I can't use meta classes, I can't store that function anywhere. Could use an external table, but that has some garbage collection problems. And also wouldn't be as efficient. What do we do? What do we do? Because, yeah. If I can't compile this down into a function, what ends up happening is that I need to cons a runtime list of these old values, and I would rather not do that. Would really rather not do that. Maybe I can actually no, never mind. I don't need to use. So wait. Yes, I do need to use... I need to store these properties somewhere. Fuck. Especially with inheritance, that's gonna be... How do we do this? Fuck. Yeah, I'm now worrying about optimization problems, which is... Alloy already is pretty terrible in terms of performance. And it's very wasteful. But whenever I do solve a design problem, I do want to consider these kinds of issues so I don't need to completely redo everything in the future, if I can help it. And I think in this case, where changes can happen a lot, I would rather avoid the problem if I can. Because everything else, like the tween object, can be cached, so we don't need to actually cons up a new tween object. The only problem is, how do we do this computation of this update function? How do we do that? If I could just use meta classes, I would have absolutely zero problems. Where's animated? So you don't have to actually manually inherit it from? Oh, here we go. So there. Yeah, so the reason I can't use meta classes is because it would bubble down in the class hierarchy, so every class definition now would have to include the meta class preamble thingy. And I cannot do that. That would be breaking the protocol. Damn it. Yeah, this is a perfect situation where this could be used. Maybe. What if we turn this into a okay. An append generic function. Where we do something like not that. Or that's just fancy syntax for this. Because then calling tracked shapes would turn it into a list of etc. And then based on this, we will get automated overrides in the very least, because we can just consider the first currents. Probably even change this to be like that. Right. So now we can go through this list to check each of the shapes. All right. And get the info for that. So at least I can store the information in a way that will be combined properly according to inheritance without having to use meta classes. That's one part of the puzzle. The next is how to use this information to compile this function down here. So what I could do is, in addition to expanding into a def method, probably do something like expand into a compile function, or rather into a which then does, or actually, what was the fucking function called? Which is, there's a mark function. Is that part of the mop or not? There's a function that you can call to invalidate classes so that once they're next accessed, yeah, changes can be marked so that they're not eager changes. What was it called? Yeah, invalidating class something. But I don't remember if it was part of class or mop. I thought it was one of those weird things that ended up in class rather than Come up. Yeah, there's update instance for redefined class. Oh, make instances obsolete. Right. That is what it was. Yeah. So we would have make instances obsolete. Of and then we would also have a function that, well, basically actually we don't need to, no, we don't need to update instances at all. That's a waste of time. No, we don't need that. What am I doing? I'm not thinking straight. Guess this is still per class and not per instance. We need the function to create updater or something like that. And then we need that. And then we create a case. Yeah, we can use the class prototype to get this. So loop for shapes in shapes. Actually, each tracker is gonna produce traction function, a comparator, and the tween information, so we can just and then we have a old no. What was the right thing? It's not map, it's create a list. Yes, it. Would it be map? No, would not be map. Fuck. Or maybe it will. Wait, hold on. Does Gensem? Does that work? No. Okay, right. No, it doesn't take a string designator, just a string. Okay. That's a shame. So we do that twice. And then we make a let. Okay. Next method. Actually, we don't need the news at all. We can do that pairwise, so... No, wait, we do want to capture... No, wait, I'm stupid. Don't let me... Let... You... Unless... He does... Does apply animation replace stuff? Yeah, it does. Okay, so completely removes the new stuff. Makes things slightly more annoying. So we need to check. We need to do that, and then probably actually even cached that too. Array, because we know what the maximum amount is, so it doesn't need to be adjustable. And then we make the tween somehow. What is the... I keep forgetting everything. Okay. And then Okay, so that's that function. Okay, so this generates this body here. Which, now that I think about it, doesn't actually help me, at least not like this. Because we need to call next method function as well. So we're gonna need to generate a lambda. Okay, and then we need the shape in there as well. Okay. Right. Actually, probably don't even need to generate gem sims for these, because the extractor has got to be a unique symbol anyway. So we can ditch this part and we can just do this. Cool. Gonna look a bit confusing maybe, but it's fine. That is good too. Okay. Right, so that should be that. Shapes. This. Okay, so now we need compile that and then the tween info. So these should not be too hard. Let's see. So we're getting a list of these kinds of things and we need to compile them down into this. So by default, I'm gonna use a eql copy. Probably. What else do we need? So, let's factors. Tracker. Tracker. Duration. Using. What else do we have? Comparison. P and duration. I think that's all the information we need. So this is going to be push. that transform done. And now we just decompile tween. This way. Val, eval. Oh. So we want to make queen. That's the extractor again. Again, we can probably, or we can definitely, can we? No, maybe not. I was wondering whether we could statically allocate these. At the very least the array, but since this is per class, we cannot. Maybe we can... I don't know. What was it here? We had an array function thingy. Right, expand array. Right. Okay. Oh wait, it is. Right. No documents. That's the setter, the stops, and the values. Oh wait, the stops are 0, 0, and the easy. Okay. Right, yeah, whatever. Okay, so that's that. We can test this soon if I just put it right file. So we won't have this stuff. Generic track. Wait, was it? Method combination. And we want this actually. Not yet. I'm not sure anymore whether it works in the way I expected to. Probably does. But also this needs to be 10. Okay. So all trackers. Wait. All shape. So let's say we have background as its pattern. Okay, so now this is the function that it's going to spit out for us. Alright, so in a case, if the background is just, if the name is the background, then we go here. Otherwise, we just immediately switch to the next method. Then we bind the pattern and we create animations array. Probably actually reuse. Yeah, we can definitely cache this. Yeah, this much we can cache. Probably, but I'll worry about that later. Okay. Then we call the next method. We again bind the pattern to the new. If they're not the same, then we push a new tween, which that is not correct. So we need a way to have this be accessor. So we need this to be so set of pattern, good. And the first array is going to be single flow for 0 to 1. And then we're going to have pattern and new. Out those, okay. And then this is not it right. Oh. Yes. Okay. Fantastic. Unless... Wait, hold on. If I... Okay, right? Okay, yeah. Good. Looks good. Actually, we should always apply the animations so we cancel out the old ones. No, wait, we can't do that. Ah, fuck. I don't think... Yeah, we have no way of cancelling animations when we do want them to be cancelled. Okay, I'll worry about that in a bit. Alright. Alright. Define... what did we call it? Define animated. Or... shapes. Plus... and then... and then we... okay. Fine, animated shapes. Good, so he does that. So we update that function, that's good. Next we actually need to get this function compiled and stuffed away somewhere. So we're gonna need another trick for that. You're gonna need yikes. Gonna need something. I think it will be fine if we do it eager. It's not really that big a deal. Okay, so maybe. Gosh. Well, no. Okay, now that we have the function, we need to somehow stuff it into a method. Which, as far as I know, like adding methods programmatically is a huge pain in the ass. I'm actually not sure. I don't think I've ever done that. Like programmatically constructing methods with the mop. No, there's like add method and shit, but oh, that's even... How do you do that? Add method. Real add method. Okay. Oh boy. How do you even generate a method object? I looked into this at another point very briefly, but I never really got anywhere. So I don't know how to do this at all. Common list. As an alternative to this, define animated shapes could do the def method at compile time and then do that, but that sounds horrible, so actually sounds kind of cool, but also terrible. Ah, God. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, I don't think there's... Construct method. Hmm. Yeah. So I'm gonna just do the ugly thing, which is to eval. What was it? In this case, we can also just take this and emit it into the def method of the update shape. Wait, I don't know though. Yeah, it's a progon. So we wouldn't need... Yeah, I'm just noticing another issue with my idea. Because this method is progon, we can't define an around method. The reason for that being, well, we can't define a primary method, obviously, because then we're not... Then, how do I explain this? So, for instance, let's say we have a special button, which inherits from... special button, which inherits from button, right? So now we want to have special updates for that. So presentations, define update. I forget the syntax. I believe this button, and we just set the background to be some whatever. Doesn't really matter. So this transforms into a def method update shape progon on renderer, and then our button special, and then the shape, and this does whatever. Now, the reason it's done like this is because this is a very convenient way to get the behavior you usually want. Because we don't want to have to care about any other kinds of properties that are being updated in this that are inherited from the standard button. So by using a progon method with most specific last, special button is just going to override whatever previous things set by just coming last and then calling reinitialize instance on the shape again. So this is not very performant, but it's, you know, a nice and simple solution to the design problem at hand. Now, for our case, we need to basically wrap everything around the whole of the update shape. Typically, you would think we can just do, okay, we'll just do update shape round, render, and then animated shape, whatever, and then we inject our compiled function here, compile shape updater stuff. This does not work because around methods stack. So now for a specialized class, if we add some kind of shape tracker for our special button here, we could get another update shape method that's around again. But because of what we did before, this also includes the shape tracking stuff, including overrides that we want from the inherited classes, but now it gets applied again. And also, that's just a waste. So we can't use an around method, or at least we can't expand into one. So we do need another level of indirection here. Where we have a def method on presentations, update shape, render animated round shape. Huh? Oh. Oh, this isn't even... Okay. I see. This isn't even dependent on that at all. Right. That's interesting as well. Yeah. Alright. I'll worry about that in a bit. But essentially we can now do this, where we just capture the call next method and immediately call our special boy here. Track updates. Call next method, animated. Right. And now here we need to have a def generic track updates. Probably want to have that actually as the first one. Okay. And then now we need to define a new method for track updates. Class shape next method, and then we splice this in here. Okay, and then okay, so this should work if we get this stuff into the actual presentations part, because this is another thing that I had going, which was instead of making the animation interface depend on the presentation stuff, I instead had it the other way around, because I considered this to be a fairly generic kind of thing that should be hookable into different kinds of backends. What the fuck was that chirp? Right, anyway. I need to consider... this anymore. But this interface that I made here is now dependent on these shapes. So, not sure how to do that. Not presentation. So I'm now trying to figure out if there's a way for me to make this more generic so that it doesn't have to depend on the presentations protocol at all. Because most of it is fairly generic. The only parts that are not is this and this. So, this part is now the only remaining problem. And I do not know how to get rid of that. Is the... Yeah, that's part of the presentation. Ah, so close. So close. Okay, so one thing that is clear is that we need this in here. So that part is good, but I still don't know how to deal with this. Because essentially we need a way to extract what sub-object we're talking about here. Again, though, the sub-object extraction part is more specific to the presentations protocol than it is to a generic kind of thing. So a different kind of rendering protocol might not have the same indirection level. It might just have all the properties on the object itself. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. How do I deal with this? I hate this. I hate this. I'm so close. And yet, so far... yeah, the protocol just doesn't fit. Just doesn't fit. And I can't even go into overtime today. I have a meeting right after, so. Might need to sleep on this. Or maybe you move this to a different stage. Can we even do that? We can. No. Can we? We do it here. Then we will need to do the switch on selecting ourselves. Also just noticed I have a variable clash. So close. Wait a second. So, okay. Notification. Oh, track changes. So all of this stuff would have to be moved to here, including this. So what? So yeah. So yeah. Changes. Okay, so now we have the here we need to incorporate the logic again. Case, name, shape. Object tracking. Okay, so this should work now. We have a bit more work that's done in the presentations framework. But at least they're now essentially decoupled. But this is not that much remaining in this, is there? I'll okay, so now we go back to our example. Presentations, fine, animated shapes, animated button, background. Crash. Not finalized. Yeah. Um. Wait, does that just... Okay. Okay. Alright, it's flushing through. Amazing. Alright, sweet. Gonna make this maybe so nicer with a body. Okay. Alright. So it goes this, which well, we can't really see it, but let's put a print in here to see what it looks like. Do we actually even need a... Don't need eval, do we? Yeah. Need... Yes, sweet. No, we need to do it with this because we need to defer this until runtime when the tracked shapes methods are actually there. I don't think they're required to be present at compile time. So, yeah, okay. Let me just make a print in there. And there we go. Okay, so it's creating a def method for that. That's not too nice. And probably would also give us problems. Okay. Create a method on call with track changes on the animated button for any kind of shape and the next one. If the name of the shape is background, we cache the pattern, do all of that stuff. Right. And otherwise we just... Okay. Sweet. I have no idea whether this will work. Render Babel, yeah. Okay. Many dots. Right. Okay. Crash, please. Linear is yes. I would think so. Wait, why is linear undefined? What? That should be from here, isn't it? Animation. Yeah. Why is that on? Huh? What? Oh, it wants... Okay, it wants, It wants that. Okay. So... it needs to be like that, and then we... Well, that... Look at that! It fucking works! Sick. Nice. So we can now make things animated with, like, almost no effort. Sweet. Alright. Yeah, all you need is, like, your standard already existent static decorations and then a declaration on the properties that you want actually animated. Okay, sick. Alright. I'll probably refine this tomorrow and publish it. But yeah, cool. Didn't think we'd actually get there. Just barely over time. Right. Okay, I gotta hop off. Because I don't want to keep people waiting. And yeah. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope to see you guys next week. I don't know yet what we're going to do next week, but probably something combat related. We'll see. Bye-bye. Good night.